Hello and good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Hafiz Marzukhi. The Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, has received 2.86 million applications to transfer the initial amount from account Sejahtera or account 2 to account Flexible or account 3. The figure, as of May 22nd, involved a total amount of 8.78 billion ringgit.
Of this amount, over 3 million withdrawal requests amounting to 5.52 billion ringgit from account Flexible have been approved. Withdrawals from account Flexible can be made at any time, for any purpose, with a minimum withdrawal of 50 ringgit. Members have until August 31st to transfer 1/3 of their savings from account Sejahtera to account Flexible. EPF has therefore advised members not to rush to make the transfer.
Selangor FC player Faizal Halim has been transferred to a secret location to undergo a full recovery process. The club's board member, Datuk Seri Syaril Mokhtar, says the decision was made for safety reasons.
Jadi buat masa ni dia buat recovery lah. Bukan di rumah, di tempat yang kelab telah tetapkanlah atas dasar keselamatan. Jadi kalau ada apa-apa isi ke kemudian dah pada satu masa dan ketika nanti kalau Faizal Halim dah betul-betul dah bersedia lah, tapi akan mengambil masa yang lama sikit lah.
Syaril told Astro AWANI that Faizal was discharged from hospital on Sunday after 3 weeks of treatment following the acid attack on May 5th. However, he will continue to visit the hospital for follow-up treatment, including wound cleaning and other procedures.
The Malaysian Medical Association, MMA, expressed a deep concern over the distribution of manpower across public healthcare facilities, including hospitals and public health clinics. In a recent ad hoc poll conducted by the MMA section concerning house officers, medical officers and specialists, or SCOMOS, it was found that only 5% of public healthcare facilities have adequate manpower.
Nearly half of the respondents said that shortages are due to either the doctors quitting or being transferred. Therefore, the MMA is urging the Health Ministry to conduct a comprehensive study with transparent publication of results on public healthcare manpower and workload in order to tackle the issue of manpower shortages. The MMA's SCOMOS Manpower Ad Hoc Poll was conducted online via Google Forms in early April to obtain a quick overview of the current status of manpower distribution in government facilities. The survey received a total of 117 responses from various public healthcare facilities across the country. According to the poll results, only 5% indicated that they had adequate manpower, while 32% needed an increase of up to 50% of manpower. Meanwhile, 46% needed an increase of up to 100%, while 16% needed more than twice the current number of doctors to provide adequate services. There were 6 respondents who were unsure as to how many doctors they actually needed. The MMA urged the government to take these issues seriously before the healthcare system collapses. According to them, the Public Service Department, the Finance Ministry, and the Health Ministry need to work closely with all stakeholders to stop the situation from further deteriorating.
A collaboration between the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, and Energy Commission has saved 2 billion ringgit in leakages from a Bitcoin syndicate. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki says the collaboration was part of the MACC's strategy against corruption. Speaking about the collaboration between TNB and the Energy Commission in 2022, Azam said TNB had approached MACC at the time as it had limited powers to act against leakages. The collaboration, dubbed Ops Power, was aimed at busting a Bitcoin syndicate that had stolen up to 2.3 billion ringgit in electricity from TNB between 2018 and 2021. Through the operations, the MACC detected suspects offering bribes of between 3,000 and 300,000 ringgit to TNB employees as an inducement to not taking action and leaking TNB operational information. Separately, TNB CEO Datuk Megat Jalaluddin Megat Hassan said new measures would be introduced to prevent unauthorized Bitcoin mining operations. This includes increase in CCTV surveillance at high-risk hotspots such as main entry substations and main distribution substations. We'll go for a short break. Stay with us.
Korang, satu benda yang aku tersangatlah pasti dan yakin, Eras memangnya radio nombor 1 paling legit.
Betul! Dengan 4.5 juta pendengar, tanpa bergabung, legitlah kita nombor 1!
Ini berdasarkan kaji selidik pendengar radio JFK gelombang pertama 2024. Semua data dipersetujui oleh Radio Komersial Malaysia.
Sebab korang,
Era kekal nombor 1
di Malaysia.
Seterusnya, peminjam Perbadanan Tabung Pendidikan Tinggi Nasional atau PTPTN digesa merebut peluang insentif diskaun bayaran balik pinjaman.
Fenomena equinox menjadikan bumi dan matahari berada pada jarak paling dekat dalam sistem solar.
Malaysia berjaya membanteras jenayah berkaitan dadah bernilai 990 juta ringgit sejak 2019.
Jangan meletakkan harapan tinggi berhubung soal mencari jawapan pesawat Malaysia Airlines MH370 yang hilang 10 tahun lepas.
An Israeli airstrike on a refugee camp in Rafah has drawn condemnation from European leaders. Germany's Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock and the EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell called for Israel to respect a ruling by the top UN court to stop its military actions there. At least 45 Palestinians were killed in the overnight strike. The Israeli Defense Forces said they targeted a Hamas compound in Rafah, killing the group's West Bank Chief of Staff and another senior official. The military said it had targeted Hamas leaders with precision weapons. It added that it was aware of reports that fire from the strike had spread to shelters and harmed civilians, adding that the incident was under review. The strike took place in the Tel Al-Sultan neighborhood of Western Rafah, where thousands have sought shelter after fleeing eastern areas of the city that Israeli forces launched a ground offensive on more than 2 weeks ago. It came 2 days after the International Court of Justice ordered Israel to immediately halt its military operation in Rafah. The death toll is likely to rise as search and rescue operations continue in the area. Earlier, Hamas had fired several rockets at Tel Aviv, the first long-range attacks on the city since January. The 8 rockets were either intercepted by air defense systems or fell in fields. As many as 2,000 people are feared to have been buried in a massive landslide in Papua New Guinea last week, according to the country's National Disaster Centre. The landslide occurred in a mountainous region in the north of the country on Friday. The latest figure is a sharp rise from earlier estimates as rescuers scramble to find any survivors in the remote region. More than 72 hours after the landslide, residents are still using spades, sticks, and their bare hands to move debris and reach survivors. Heavy equipment and aid have been slow to arrive due to the remote location, while tribal warfare nearby has forced aid workers to travel in convoys, escorted by soldiers. Even when the rescue teams can reach the site, rain, unstable ground, and flowing water make it dangerous for residents and rescuers to clear the debris. Prime Minister James Marape's office said the disaster was being handled by emergency services, and Marape was in the capital, Port Moresby, preparing for the return of Parliament on Tuesday, where he faces a no-confidence motion. Mount Ibu in eastern Indonesia has erupted again, spewing ash up to 6 kilometers into the sky. Indonesia's volcanology agency has also issued a red alert to local aviation authorities, the highest of its kind.
The volcano, which has erupted at least 95 times since the start of the year, is currently at the highest alert level in Indonesia's 4-tier system after authorities raised it in May. People have been warned not to go within the exclusion zone of 4 to 7 kilometers from the volcano's crater. Ibu is one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes, having erupted more than 21,000 times last year. Monday's activity follows a series of eruptions from different volcanoes this month, after authorities noticed an increase in volcanic activity since April. Last month, Mount Rang in North Sulawesi province erupted more than half a dozen times, forcing the evacuation of thousands of residents from nearby islands. Meanwhile, flash floods and cold lava flow from Mount Merapi killed 62 people after torrential rains on May 11th.
Can AI revolutionize healthcare and create a more equitable system? Our correspondent Farhana Sheikh delves into this critical issue, reporting from the Red Hat Summit in Denver, Colorado.
Utilizing AI in the public healthcare system holds immense potential to revolutionize patient care as well as optimize resource allocation. Here at Red Hat Summit, I speak to Richard Spencer Schaefer, Chief AI Officer from the US Department of Veterans Affairs, on harnessing the power of AI to provide better outcome for patients and healthcare staff.
One is helping to improve the processes that we do. So using AI to go through all of the even paper documents, like thousands of paper documents, and helping that to help guide our patient care. I think that we also see it with helping to improve our ability to detect problems with patients, whether that is with using AI to read x-rays and other diagnostic images, all the way to using AI to predict how someone might be, how they might feel, or how sick they might be in the next 24 hours.
Spencer believes that Malaysia has immense potential to digitalize and incorporate AI into its healthcare system.
To be honest, like the first step, and this is what we're kind of doing right now, is using AI to take all of that information that's just in written record all over, right? And using AI to convert that into data that can be used to help make, to kind of help improve, not only help improve each individual person's information, but to help develop tools that can help as a public health perspective. I think the last thing I'll say about that is I think it's really exciting for Malaysia. I think that what we struggle with right now in the U.S. is that we have lots and lots of technology that was built around healthcare, but it wasn't really built in a way that is highly useful in a high computing environment. And so a country like Malaysia, starting at this point, is going to be able to take full advantage of the scalability and the ability to use cloud resources or other secure methodologies, but to build from the ground, from that ground up. And I think things are a lot easier to build right now.
At the end of the day, Spencer emphasizes that the ultimate objective is to leverage AI to establish a more equitable healthcare system.
A lot of the concern that we hear and we talk about with AI is it going to not be equitable, right? Is there going to be what we call biased in our world, right? Are we going to bias things to one particular group of people or population? I think on the flip side, we have an opportunity to help eliminate some of that bias that we've had in the past. I think if we're wise about it and we're really really thoughtful, we can actually help create a more equitable system.
And that wraps up this edition of AWANI Tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Hafiz Marzukhi. Good night.
Di dalam